Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, a man is dead after he was hit by an Amtrak train in Cary. Investigators have been there since before 11 p.m.
And Francine is now a tropical storm, of course, after making landfall yesterday afternoon. The center of circulation now moving past New Orleans. We'll talk about how much more rainfall is in store for the South.
And after many protests last year, teachers and staff at Durham schools will learn more about changes to their salary. What we're expecting to hear today from school leaders.
And goodbye to PNC Arena. The home of the Carolina Hurricanes and NC State Wolfpack basketball is expected to have a new name starting today. So we'll have to get used to saying that new name. You know, the place that used to be PNC Arena is what we'll be saying for a while. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30. Still the old names here. Renee Chu and Jeff Hogan with you this morning.
And it is great to have you along. Absolutely. Yeah, the name changes. They go through their cycles. We'll get used to it.
Those naming rights.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get used to it. Elizabeth Gardner, meantime, in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Francine is another name we've gotten accustomed to lately.
We definitely have, but not for too much longer. Once we get into the day tomorrow, it's likely to just dissipate into a remnant low. Right now, 20 miles northwest of New Orleans, so moving through there. It is moving faster now northeast at 14 miles per hour. Winds are down to 50 miles per hour, so wind is not as big of an issue, but still some storm surge, still some flooding happening there. And of course, lots of heavy rain, which will affect folks in Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of the deep south. We'll take a closer look at how much more rainfall is likely to fall coming up. You take a look at this morning at 8 a.m., 45 mile per hour winds. We get into the early morning tomorrow, and it has dissipated just into a remnant low. Now, the next thing that's likely to develop is a low off the coast of North and South Carolina. This is the one that's likely to bring us some impacts. We may not see very much rain from Francine, but this storm could be tropical. Heavy rain is likely. We're talking maybe 1 to 3 inches as we get into early next week, and some coastal impacts with some windy conditions there. It's a quiet morning for us, but you're going to notice more cloud cover. We're seeing that cloud shield from Francine affecting us today. 63 is our temperature as you're heading out the door, and our high this afternoon will be in the low 80s with that additional cloud cover.
Elizabeth, thanks. Breaking news, a man is dead after being hit by an Amtrak train. Police say this happened near the large Hindu temple off Chapel Hill Road around 10:45 last night. Nick Perlin joins us live from Cary in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Nick, investigators say the man was standing on the tracks when he was hit.
Renee, really sad news this morning, and investigators have been here for roughly 6 hours, still trying to investigate what exactly happened here. You can see right here the Cary police officer, and I can tell you the train track is way far back in the woods there, so we can't see the train here. I can tell you it is still here, but yeah, investigators have been here for roughly 6 hours. We know that this happened just before 11, and we're still working to find out the name of the person who did sadly die here late last night. We'll try to get more information from the scene, and I'll continue to update you as I learn more. Live in Cary, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
3 people are hurt after a drive-by shooting in Halifax County. Authorities say the shooting happened around 6 last night on Washington Avenue in Weldon. Weldon police chief says 2 of the 3 people who were shot were taken to the hospital. He didn't know what their conditions were. We're also working to learn their ages. Police say 3 people have been detained for questioning. The motive is unclear.
One person is out of their home after a fire that started in their kitchen. This video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows crews responding to the home on Picardy Village Place near Southwest Cary Parkway around 8 last night. The homeowner was there alone when the fire broke out. They were treated for minor smoke inhalation. Investigators say they don't know yet exactly what started the fire.
It is the end of an era for the home of the Carolina Hurricanes. PNC Arena in Raleigh will go by a new name starting today. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us now from outside the arena this morning. Kelsey, big reveal. Was kind of spoiled by a sneak peek of that new sign on a new video game, right?
Jeff, there was a little bit of a hashtag spoiler alert with this one. So the name Lenovo Center actually already appeared in a trailer for a hockey video game that's set to be released next year. You can see video of crews working on changing the signage outside of the arena yesterday. The Centennial Authority owns this venue. They're scheduled to meet this morning to make the name change official. Take a look at redevelopment plans around the arena that are already in the works. You can see the revamped arena there. It's undergoing a $300 million million renovation. Lenovo will be capitalizing on this new exposure for their brand.
We've seen that this arena is also hosting things like Twitch video game tournaments that are being broadcast globally, and those get many, many views on Twitch. And so I think this is one way that the naming rights will have a global impact, an impact far beyond just Raleigh, North Carolina.
The Centennial Authority is set to meet later this morning, so we'll be sure to keep you updated. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Tonight, the Durham Public School Board will discuss employee salaries. You'll remember protests like this one here over issues with pay for classified staff. That includes physical therapists, instructional assistants, and nutritional specialists. Now these employees will hear what they could be getting paid moving forward. The agenda item for the meeting says the new salary compensation schedules for classified employees will have 30 steps, and the salary steps will be set at onboarding. For teachers, the recommended schedules have an $800 annual increase.
It's 4:36 here in the WRAL Live Center. I just want to show our viewers this right now. Hundreds of thousands of people without power right now in Louisiana because of Francine. You'll see there in the southeastern part of the state, all of those regions that are affected right now. But I do want to pull up some video to kind of show you what we're looking at. So this is a live look at the Caesars Superdome right now, but let's rewind the clock a little bit to what we saw a bit earlier. You can see just some floodwater here that's been pulled up toward this pier that's on here. It looks like the video may have stopped here. It's unable to play at this moment, but that just kind of shows you the significance of the water that was brought by Francine. Throughout the morning, I'm going to bring you some more images that we're seeing here in the WRAL Live Center. Check back in with me in just a little bit.
Chris, thank you. A bill that gives approval for private school vouchers and immigration enforcement is moving forward. Governor Roy Cooper now needs to give the bill final approval after state lawmakers passed it. He's expected to veto the measure, but the North Carolina General Assembly has a veto-proof supermajority. This legislation puts another $463 million toward private school vouchers. The bill also requires sheriffs to work with federal immigration officials.
A 16-year-old student is in custody facing charges after bringing a stolen loaded gun to school. It happened at Durham's Holton Career and Resource Center. On Monday in Wake County, police say a Sanderson High School student brought a gun onto a school bus. Raleigh police said juvenile petitions will be filed on that student. North Carolina law states a student who brings a firearm onto campus faces a 365-day suspension. Wake County's district attorney says it's a felony.
Probationary sentence normally. They're going to take pretty restrictive action on, where you can go and what you can do. There's going to usually be other sanctions associated with that.
Students aren't the only ones who could face legal troubles in these situations. Parents can face charges as well. Durham and Wake County leaders stress the importance of speaking up and reporting weapons on campus and securing firearms at home.
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will resume her battleground tour in North Carolina. She'll be in our state to kick off her New Way Forward tour. Harris is expected to hold rallies in Charlotte and Greensboro. She'll speak in Charlotte around 3:40 and Greensboro at 6:50 this evening. Governor Roy Cooper will also be speaking at both events.
Meantime, Renee, former President Donald Trump is working to secure votes in a different swing state, Arizona. The Trump campaign says he'll speak at an event in Tucson that'll focus on the economy and the rising cost of housing. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, came to the area last week. Trump visited Glendale, Arizona last month.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about in Chapel Hill. Underground utility work will begin on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard near Northfield Drive. Expect delays between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. each day through next Friday, September 20th. One lane will be closed at a time. Sidewalks will remain open. Crews won't be working over the weekend. And again, sidewalks remain open.
We have learned Boar's Head was warned about issues 2 years before a deadly listeria outbreak linked to the deli meat. What inspectors found when they visited the Virginia plant at the center of the outbreak in 2022.
And new video of 3 wildfire crews are battling right now the 3 wildfires crews are battling in California right now.
And give you this live look now in Wilson right here. Look at the whirligigs. It's going to be a cloudy day. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us when some of that humidity will return for us.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
443, taking a live look across the area. Look at this, the DBAP all lit up this morning, 63 degrees there. Of course, the Bulls are in the middle of their final homestand of the season, and it's going to be comfortable there this afternoon, but you're going to notice more cloud cover across the area today, and we're going to get into a small chance of some showers over the weekend. Raleigh 63, 64 in Fayetteville right now, and checking town-by-town temperatures. We're in the 50s and 60s, pretty similar to yesterday, maybe just a few degrees warmer. It's 64 in Fayetteville, 63 in Irwin, but 56 in Tarboro, 60 degrees right now in South Hill. Headed out the door for some exercise, feeling very comfortable. We're going to stay dry today, and even with some cloud cover, it's going to be a mild afternoon, looking at temperatures in the low 80s. We do stay on the cool side, and we're watching a new system that could bring us some heavy rain early next week.
Officials say a wildfire burning in California's Angeles National Forest is growing quickly. This is called the Bridge Fire. It's the largest of the three major wildfires burning in California right now. That wildfire has burned over 50,000 acres. It is 0% contained. Fire officials are concerned about the fire growing even further, and the cause of that fire is still under investigation.
Firefighters are battling two other wildfires in California, the line fire and what's being called the airport fire. On the left of the screen, you'll see the damage the line fire has caused. Firefighters are working to save people's homes. A man has been arrested on suspicion for starting the fire, 34-year-old Justin Wayne. And then to the right of your screen, you'll see the newest wildfire in the state, the airport fire. Officials say the fire was accidentally sparked by crews working on fire prevention measures. The fire has injured at least 7 people and burned more than 23,000 acres.
We'll give you this live look this morning, the Capitol building in Washington. There will be increased security there on January 6th as Congress gathers for the electoral vote certification. That increased security will be in an effort to avoid the chaos nearly 4 years ago when a mob stormed the Capitol to disrupt the count, affirming President Biden's victory. The Department of Homeland Security has designated the count as a national special security event. That means it'll have levels of security like the State of the Union address or the Super Bowl. Secret Service will be in charge of it. 4 people died during the riot and about 140 police officers were assaulted, according to the Justice Department.
We're working to learn how many students were affected when they were exposed to pepper spray at Johnston County High School. This was the scene yesterday at Smithfield-Selma High School. The school district said several students had to be treated after a student released pepper spray inside the building. It's not clear if this was intentional or an accident. We are learning inspectors warned about, quote, major deficiencies at a Virginia Boar's Head plant 2 years before the deadly listeria outbreak linked to the deli meat. USDA documents identified issues with the plant's conditions, including rusty equipment, flaking paint, and dripping condensation. The report dates back to September 2022 and warned the poor conditions could, quote, pose an imminent threat. Previously released reports from the USDA showed 69 non-compliances between August 2023 and last month. Those included insects, mold, and blood on the floor.
I want you to take a look at this doorbell video here. A man dressed like a delivery driver walks up to a porch and steals a package. This happened just minutes after the real delivery was made. The homeowner says he had been parked near the home waiting for this delivery in the Westlake neighborhood. This is in Raleigh. The thief stole a new iPad just 4 minutes after it was delivered. FedEx representative told the homeowner they're seeing more and more packages from AT&T getting stolen because the boxes tend to be so obvious.
The coincidence that it was something expensive like that, you just know that there's more involved that you don't understand.
He hopes to raise awareness so others don't fall victim headed towards the holidays here. FedEx says you can use its delivery manager tool to control the timing and location of those deliveries.
It is 4:47 and it is the peak of hurricane season, and we are seeing it playing out there along the Gulf Coast. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking Francine for us.
Still lots of heavy rain with this, and the focus is now going to turn to focus in Mississippi, Alabama, where we see a lot of heavy rain, and of course the red shaded area where we have a tornado watch. Typically landfalling systems like this do produce tornadoes, so be on the lookout for that as well. Fortunately, things look pretty quiet there right now. You can see that the bulk of the rain has now moved out of Louisiana Louisiana, and so has the strongest wind. The strongest wind is now starting to move on up into Mississippi, and again, some heavy rain likely to continue to cause some flooding. And of course, we'll be following this and let you know how things are looking down in Louisiana. They tend to get hit pretty hard by these storms. Officially, it's 20 miles northwest of New Orleans. That's the center of circulation. But again, all the rain, the wind is starting to move on to the north at about 12 miles per hour. Winds now down to 45 miles per hour. And we take a look at the path continues to move northward. It's likely, of course, here's the 5 a.m. advisory just came in, 45 mile per hour wind. So down from 50 in the last advisory. Just becomes a tropical depression and a low as we get into the day today. So it's going to rapidly weaken, but it's still going to continue to carry all that moisture with it. That'll bring some heavy rain. Here's a look at Futurecast. The bulk of the heavy rain is here, but there's a boundary and some waves of rain that are likely to move closer to North Carolina. Notice as we get into the day on Friday, there may be a boundary that lifts northward and brings us a chance of some scattered showers during the day on Friday. And then again on Saturday and Sunday, but we have something else developing that's likely to cause more problems. Along a boundary that stretches out into the Atlantic, there's a low pressure system that will likely form. And this is going to be the one that brings the issues for us. We could see some strong gusty, potentially damaging winds along the coast and some very heavy rain as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So our rainfall forecast looks like this. It's 30% chance Saturday and Sunday, but it's a 60% chance on Monday and a 50% chance on Tuesday. And honestly, even beyond that, this may be a very slow mover. So we start to move into a grayer, wetter pattern, even starting tomorrow, that could last well into next week. And how much rainfall in the next 7 days could be significant. Some of our viewing area could see as much as 3 inches up near the Virginia line, maybe 1.5 inches of rain. So again, this will be a significant event for us. This morning, we're just seeing increasing clouds around the area. 63 degrees is our current temperature, dew points down in the 50s. And we're looking mostly at upper 50s to low and mid 60s as you're headed out the door. 81 in Raleigh, 80 in Durham, 83 in Fayetteville, but with a good bit more cloud cover. And our muggy meter is definitely on the rise. It's going to feel pretty sticky for us starting tomorrow, well into next week. Look at that. All of the icons with showers and thunderstorms in that forecast. We'll talk more about some of the rainfall totals that we'll see coming up.
Thanks for that, Elizabeth. The countdown to fall is on, and businesses in Vermont are preparing for a lot of visitors coming there. We will tell you about the leaf peeping season forecast released this week.
And you have a chance to help name 2 adorable Red Wolf pups in the care of NC State. How you can vote for your favorite name.
Justin Timberlake is expected to enter a plea deal tomorrow in his DWI case. The singer's arrest happened over the summer in New York back in June. Suffolk County District Attorney says Timberlake is expected to plead guilty to a lesser charge. It's a change from his not guilty plea he entered last month in a virtual court appearance. He will appear in court tomorrow.
A humpback whale was rescued off the coast of British Columbia this week. He was entangled in various fishing lines and floats. A nearby crew worked for several days to free the animal. They say he couldn't even open his mouth because of the lines. They believe he could have been tangled up for weeks or even months.
NC State is asking for your help naming 2 Red Wolf pups. The university's College of Veterinary Medicine posted these photos of the 4-month-old wolves. One is a girl, the other's a boy. The 3 name options for the girl are Faye, Magnolia, and Roanoke. As of this morning, Magnolia is in the lead, almost 40% of the votes. Roanoke has a slight lead over Faye. For the male, the options are Eno, Cypress, and Forest. 2 R's with Forest. Cypress has the most votes so far. Eno and Forest are tied. You can cast your vote. Go to the university's Instagram page. The polls are at the bottom of each post.
4 months old and they look so grown already.
Goodness, yeah.
Frankie Beverly, founder of the soul group Maze, died yesterday at age 77. His song, Before I Let Go, will forever be tied to cookouts and good times as an unofficial anthem of summer. It became such a staple that Beyonce covered it for her 2019 concert film, Homecoming. Beverly said that was one of the high points of his life. His family did not share a cause of death.
We're in September, less than 2 weeks away from the official start of fall, but businesses in Vermont are preparing for a very busy leaf peeping season. A soggy summer stole some color from Vermont's landscapes last fall, but experts say the foliage this year will be bright. That means People who live in Vermont and the hordes of people who come to visit there during the fall are in for a show. Businesses in foliage corridors say they're grateful for that. If you want to take a weekend trip, there are a couple different airlines that fly directly from RDU to Burlington, Vermont.
A beautiful part of the country. There are just a few more weeks left to enjoy North Carolina's famed Wizard of Oz theme park. The park in the mountains near Blowing Rock opened earlier this month, and it will be open for the next 2 weekends, so follow the yellow brick road. Tickets are $60. The Land of Oz was a theme park that operated back in the 70s, and it wasn't until 1988 when a reunion of original park employees known as the Ozzies brought it back to life with reopenings every year.
Next time you head to a game or a big concert in Raleigh, you won't be able to say you're going to PNC Arena. The vote happening today to change the name of the venue.
And the Polaris Dawn crew is preparing to attempt a very risky spacewalk when the kickoff for the event is after a slight delay this morning.
Taylor Swift makes VMA history. That and other highlights from the night coming up.